right. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you very much for joining me here today on the Red Pill Investor, as well as on the Sell More Homes Now on YouTube. I appreciate you joining me so much because we're going to go ahead and have a great time prospecting today. Hopefully you are already prospecting. You're not wasting any time at all to get out there and get in the market. I've got my phones ready. Hopefully you've got your ready. We're going to go ahead and get started calling today. We're going to call all the normal folks, the expireds, the canceleds. Boy, we're going to call some pre-foreclosures. We're going to call just listed, just sold types. We're going to have a pretty long day when it comes to prospecting. And also, we're going to go over a lot of the news today, some comments that I thought perhaps might be helpful to you. And then hopefully we'll be able to wrap all of this up in some meaningful dialogue that will be able to give you some skills, hopefully some thoughts perhaps that you can take into the marketplace that will help you get those price reductions if you're a realtor, that will help you get those homes under contract if you're an investor, that will help you be able to make more deals and more money happen if you're in the real estate game. Now, additionally, if you're in the Tucson area, I know many of you are here in Tucson. You listen to the podcast, you watch me on YouTube. I do appreciate you very much. May I just ask that if you happen to have any real estate deals, any deals that you think that would need a rehab or perhaps you need some help with, feel free to reach out and give me a call, as I do locally invest as well. And I certainly do appreciate all the help you give me there as well. So let's go ahead and get started prospecting, hitting the news and doing all the appointment setting that we've got scheduled for the day. And let's go ahead and, as always, let's take this to the Lord and ask him for his blessing on all we're about to do. Lord, we just thank you for this day. We are grateful for everything that you've given us. We're grateful for the skills, the time together. We're grateful for the camaraderie. We're certainly grateful for this technology that you've given us, Lord, that would enable us to go ahead and talk to so many people so quickly. Lord, we're asking that you'll bless this event, that you'll shine upon it, Lord, that you'll help us to bring good news to people, that we might be able to help them get their real estate goals accomplished, that we might be able to help our communities, that we might be able to be a light for you, Lord. Just help us to go ahead and do everything to glorify your holy name. Amen. All right, let's press start. So, as you know, I use the Vortex system with the Red X. I've got everything already dialed up for me and scheduled up to go ahead and start dialing. So we're dialing everybody right now that have.
I couldn't take your call. I hope you're having a good day.
All right.
I'll call you back.
Okay, I don't think he's going to call me back. The truth is that they almost never call you back. All right. So thing about messages, if you're going to leave a message, you might have heard me say this before. If you're going to leave a message, be sure to leave the message in an automatic format. You know, that's one thing I do like about the Red X. They do happen to have an.
Hi, you've reached Karen.
Like in this lady right here.
Psychologist.
Boom. You know, if I wanted to just go ahead and leave a message there, you just press a button and pow, it leaves a message for her. I've already left a message with her once before, but as a matter of fact, you can leave a couple different messages. So that's also a nice little factor.
The call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Part of the problem, I think, is that I am calling a little bit later. It is 8:51 locally. And what that basically means is that every realtor who's worth a salt has already gone and called these people if their phone was available. Most realtors will, if they're going to be real estate agents calling people for business, especially expireds and canceleds, they're typically going to go ahead and call them first thing in the morning. And so by the time 8:40, 8:50, 9 o'clock rolls around, you know, it's going to be difficult, if you will. It's going to be difficult for you to get that contract, or I should say to get that contact, because by then everybody's been calling them. And if it's been a couple days, they may have their phone on Do Not Disturb, and it's going to be very difficult to reach them. So it's always best to call early, call at different times, call in the morning, call in the afternoon, call in the evening, text. That's always a good way to reach too. You know, there's so many reasons why people say that they don't call expireds or canceled listings. You know, some people say that they don't, and when I'm saying some people, I'm talking about agents specifically. Agents specifically say that they won't call expireds or canceled listings many times because of the do not call list, or they don't want to appear to be salesy, or insert excuse here, right? However, the other one, they'll say, well, people don't answer the phone, right? That's another thing you hear. Well, the other thing you might want to consider is, well, what if you just, I don't know, text them? I mean, you could say that phone calls or this or that or the other might be, too late for this, or they don't answer the phone for that. But I mean, what's wrong with texting somebody? You'd be shocked to see the kind of business and efficiency that you can accomplish by starting out with a text. It's really interesting if you start out calling people, let's say, and you set the appointment, and now you've got their phone number. That that's a valid phone number. Most folks these days, they don't really have a landline. I mean, if they do, they don't use it. So most people, they're using their cell phones. And so when you're calling people, many times you're going to reach their cell phone. And when you reach their cell phone, you go to their house if they have any kind of interest whatsoever, and you go out there and you start to pre-qualify them a little bit, or talk to them a little bit. You're able to go ahead and follow up with them via text a lot easier. And many times they're willing and wanting to do that. Not everybody wants a phone call. Some people just prefer to handle things via text, and you just start the call as your way to get that conversation started. And then you can continue on in the text if that's what you choose. But many times we're just a little too lazy, and we don't always do that. But, that's just the way we are. Business begets business. This prospecting that we're doing here, had a fellow contact me yesterday, set an appointment with him, and he had said, hey, look, I've got a house that I am tired of living here in Tucson. I don't like the neighborhood. I just want to sell. And move into something else. Can you help me with that? Of course, you better believe I can help you with that. I'm happy to help you with that. Let me see what we can do. We set an appointment for him. We're able to meet with him this coming Wednesday. So remember, when you're prospecting consistently, okay, even though...
Hi, I'm sorry I can't get to the phone right now.
For example,
Please.
This sort of thing happens where, you get the voicemails, or there's no answers, or right now it seems like there's nobody talking to you, or maybe a little bit later we're calling just solds, and we're calling around a neighborhood and it's a bunch of no's, or maybe somebody will say, well, yeah, I might know somebody and I'll have them give you a call. Look, if you keep up with this consistently, okay, you don't always see this on the podcast. You don't always see this on the YouTube channel. But in the afternoons, many times I'm on an appointment, and someone will text me, hey, we talked earlier about the property.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
Let's talk about this, that, or the other, right? When your lead follow-up pattern is going on, right? Many times you're doing that via text. You went over to the house. Let's just imagine this scenario. This happened to me. I prospected here, was prospecting, made an appointment with a for sale by owner, went out to their property, took a look at it. It's a beautiful home. The problem is they bought it at the wrong time, right? They bought it a few years ago. They paid a little too much, and now they want to move. Problem is that they're not going to make the amount of equity that they had hoped for because they overpaid in the beginning, and now they're trying to sell a little too soon. Now, I'm a professional. There's only so much that I can do to mitigate those sorts of circumstances. I mean, I can certainly do what I can in terms of pricing the property properly to get it the best buyer the first time, and I can certainly do my best to help negotiate the deal. But it always starts and ends, in my mind, right, with your level of professionalism as it relates to lead generation. Okay. So if you'll follow along with me for just a minute, Mike Ferry used to teach me that you have to be 100% honest with yourself. Okay. You have to be 100% honest with yourself, because if you can't be honest with yourself, well, then you can't be honest with your customers. I mean, that to me made perfect sense. I understood that intrinsically when I was in the Mike Ferry coaching system. If you have to be honest with yourself before you can be honest with your customer, then you have to examine your whole method of business? Where do you get business from the beginning? And then how does it look at the end, right? So for example, if your prospecting in the beginning is weak, right? If your lead generation game in the beginning of your pipeline is weak, then how do you expect realistically to have strong results in the end? That's just illogical. That's unreasonable, right? So how can you claim that you want to do X amount of deals, whatever X is to you, large,
Please leave your message for
large, small,
520.
whatever the goal you have, large or small, whatever X is to you, how can you say that you want X results if you're not willing to look at Y in the beginning? What are you doing to generate the leads? What are you doing prospecting wise to generate the leads you need to qualify so you can go on the appointments, so you can make the presentation, so you can handle the objections, so you can close? How is this process working for you? Now, if your answer to that question is, well, I hold open houses, I run mailers, I have bus benches, I have, oh gosh, I don't know, advertisements in the paper, the radio, direct mail, websites, and all the things you say you have got going for you in the lead generation part of your business. But how much of that can you really control? Oh, sure, you can mail X number of pieces. Certainly, you could do that. There's certainly some control that you can exercise over when it goes out, what it looks like. But ultimately, it's very difficult to decide or determine, I should say, the end result of the mailer itself. I mean, you can mail out 100 pieces and get, hopefully, whoops, I don't want that. I don't want that. There we go. All right. Hang up on that. All right. There we go. You could mail out 100 pieces and reasonably expect, statistically, I think the anywhere from, I think the standard is 1% to 2%. And then, depending on who you listen to, they can get you something 3% to 7%, depending on the special card that they have or color or whatever language, magic language they're using or whatever. You can get a certain level of, response from that. But you can't necessarily do it every day, right? I mean, you only have a certain amount of money. And chances are, if you're listening to most of these real estate gurus out here, they're probably telling you to spend every dime you have on mailing. I might be wrong. Look, I've got no dog in this fight. The only thing I'm trying to sell you is my real estate book that I wrote for real estate agents, right? Maybe some scripts, maybe some premium podcasts. That's the only thing I'm trying to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you expensive coaching or anything like that. I'm sharing it with you, my experiences. So my feeling is this: if you're not going to be 100% honest with yourself about how you're generating your leads regularly, then how could you realistically expect to be honest with yourself about how many deals you're going to do every year? See, the key is you have to add some sort of repetition to this. You have to add some sort of duplicatability to this. You have to be able to add some sort of reproduction value to this business. I mean, if your whole game rests or falls on your ability to send out a mailer and get a wholesale deal or whatever, and that's the only card you have to play, well, you're going to be in deep trouble if the card, if you mail out all those mailers and for whatever reason it doesn't work out. What are you going to do to generate business?
Hello.
Hey, Tom.
DJ.
Oh, geez, Louise, I might have the wrong person. My name's Carl. Is Thomas available?
My name is Tom. I
Oh.
go by TJ.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry about that. Well, listen, I was calling about your property. I was calling about your property that was for sale at 608 West Grandview Trail. Am I calling the right number?
Yep.
Okay, great. I noticed that after being on the market for a while, your home hasn't sold, is now off the market. I'm a broker who buys property. I was just curious to see what was going on with the property.
Well, I'm totally frustrated because, and I think I chose the wrong realtor. We've had showings, but are you familiar with Del Webb and how they market?
Yes, sir. I've been I've been a realtor here for 23 years. I'm super familiar with the area. What do you feel is going on?
Oh, just so you know, too, I was a mortgage originator for a dozen years.
Oh, no kidding.
And I actually held a realtor's license for a few years too.
Where here in Tucson?
So I know the business. No, I'm from Iowa.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All
I'm
right.
retired now.
Oh, smart man.
Yes. My wife is still working.
Okay.
I'm retired.
All right.
And we're snowbirds. I'm in Minnesota right now.
Okay.
We're up here till October. I kind of an example. I'm not trying to trash my listing agent, but for example, just recently we've been told that the neighbors that we know, are friends with, hey TJ, you need to get your weeds pulled, and oh, by the way, your plants are overgrown, and one of them even sent me photos.
Oh boy.
Didn't know. The realtor never told me that. The only time I get an update is if once in a while she'll initiate an update, but I always have to request an update.
Right.
So, how many showings have you had, and this and that? So, she was living in the area, and now she's not. We were like house number 30 at Del Webb, Del Mountain, so it's tenfold that now. We're in the area of Del Webb, Del Mountain, that all the houses are complete, so it's nice and quiet. Now, we built a new house down the street in Del Webb. My wife wanted a bigger lot and a different view, and we were going to take the equity out of this house, plotted on that one, because there's no money owed on that there's no mortgage on Grandview Trail. So we thought it'd be an easy thing to do because last year we listed it, the house down the street, same house, sold for $380 now, and that must have turned out to be a fluke. But I thought, $380, we can come down, and we started off a little high, knowing there's a little high, but we could come down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a market for short-term rentals because we have lots of friends at Del Webb, and the common thing everybody complains about is, well, we listed our house, decided to build with Del Webb, and 2 days later the house sold. And now we're living in an apartment, paying rent, plus I'm paying storage because I brought all my furniture from Washington State or wherever,
Mm-hmm.
So you can short-term rent those things and make a minimum of $2,500 a month. And that's very tempting. But we're gone 5+ months a year, and my wife's a highly paid executive, and any raw income that we don't have any, there's no expenses to it, taxes and insurance, right?
Right.
It would kill us when it comes to tax time. So it's not a smart decision to rent it.
Okay.
Just because we're not there 5 months a year is going to be part of it. The people, if they could, everyone says, if I could have rented the house in here, I would have rented it. Because then I could get to know the community, because everybody's recently retired and wants to meet people. It's a great place to be if you're in that boat. So you probably get this more than most people. But,
yeah, I understand completely. Yes.
We've done 3 or 4 price reductions and just trying to compete with what's coming on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Her philosophy was, well, this got listed last week, and it's $10,000 less, so you need to come down $5,000. And so she was chasing the market.
Right.
In my opinion, I don't know if that's the correct thing.
Nope. You are actually spot on. I always tend to think of it like a little puppy on a hill. You're throwing the ball down the hill. A puppy will run down and he'll flop over his ears and whatnot, trying to get to the ball. But eventually he only catches up with it at the bottom of the hill, and he brings it up, and then you throw it down. If he's smart, right, pretty soon, instead of falling and running all the way to the bottom, he'll run ahead of the ball, maybe to the middle of the bottom, and middle of the hill, and he'll grab the ball as it goes down. That's the smart move.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're in an area where our house backs up to Dove Mountain Boulevard, but we're in the slower, it's in the 30-mile-an-hour zone past the entrance to the Ritz. And right now there's construction everywhere. So you get some road noise. But that's only during the week, and it's going to only last for a certain period of time. We just built a house down the hill on a cul-de-sac road that they just opened up. We bought a nice lot with a different view. My wife fell in love with this lot, so we bought it. And there's so much noise down there, it's deafening. There's construction equipment and people, and I don't take this from Spanish music, and they play a little loud, and I don't know what it is, right? I don't speak the language. And these guys are great. They're very hard workers. They get the job done. That's fine.
Right, but it's just the music, perhaps. Yeah,
too, right?
I understand. Yeah,
it's dusty, dirty, and we moved to that house. It took us a while to adjust how quiet it is down there at night. It's quiet.
Yeah,
I had to shut the door to the patio because the coyotes are making so much noise.
Oh boy.
But the neighborhood we're in, it's the part of the area that's finished, so there's no construction going on, and none of the dirt, none of the landscaping that follows the moving in, because we're fighting the builder. I'm competing with the builder.
Correct.
They're saying, "Oh, we can build that house for $300." Well, the thing they're not telling them is you haven't done pickouts and haven't made the mortgage loans forever. It's at least 20% more, at least, to do all the upgrades that you want. And then you still don't have a backyard. So to get that house today and build it out, you would be in the 270 or 375 range at least, and we're at 350 range. But nobody tells them that. Nobody explains it to them. And our listing price is not our bottom price. It's just, I want to get somebody to come in and make me an offer. So
right. No, I understand 100%. And I'm just sitting here kind of looking at the market as we're talking, from around you. And I'm just curious. I mean, did your last agent kind of give you any indication as to why she was pricing it that particular way to get an offer, or no? I mean, you mentioned, I guess what I mean is you mentioned that she was kind of, they would say, well, gosh, we're building this house for 10,000, blah, 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 or somebody came on the market for 10,000. That now you got to make it 5,000. I mean, was there any kind of, reason or rationale as to why she was pricing the property the way it was? I mean, or was it just sort of willy nilly? And
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, like I said, the house on the street sold for 380. So we thought, well, we'll start at 375 or 378. I remember what it was. Okay. And because, that should draw some interest, and then we can come down. We have no mortgage on it. So we got room to move. But there's other things to take in consideration. When you sit in our house and look up the back, you don't see a road, you see a mountain. But there's one that just got listed here for the last week or two, because I called her yesterday. She never calls me. And I said, I'm going to let the listing run out. I'm going to try some different things. For the next couple of weeks, I've got to kind of be careful, because I got company coming up, family coming up for the holidays from this Saturday through 2 weeks, basically. So I don't really want to get into a long discussion.
Yeah, I understand that.
Of listing it, because I want my wife to be here on the phone with me, because he's on the East Coast right now and won't be back till Thursday night.
Well, then.
But anyway, but then she says, well, they just listed one for 330, and she told me where it was. And I said, well, there's no view on that lot. It's $20,000 less view, or you need to drop your price down. Well, maybe not. I mean, that's always her answer. Just keep dropping price. I know eventually you price it and somebody will buy it, but you got to consider what you're getting. When you walk into their backyard, all you see is 3 walls. There's no view. There's no mountains. There's nothing. But so I think we've got a move-in ready house. We've done a lot of upgrades and improvements to it. I know you probably haven't been in it, but the backyard's all done. It's set up for a hot tub back there, by the way, just so you know. Okay. The 220's in. We did the front yard. It's all ready to go. But I just found out from my neighbors a couple days ago that, your weeds are getting bad and your trees are overgrown. And it's like, why didn't my realtor tell me that? Because I've got my landscaper. He's going to go in there and take care of it this week. So Little things like that. Come
so-
on.
so-
It makes it look bad when there's weeds everywhere.
So, I mean, I'm guessing, during her weekly calls to you to inform you about the market, was she telling you about the 12 other properties that have sold in that area in the last?
What's this weekly call you speak of?
Oh,
I didn't get that.
oh, boy. Sounds like you got a secret agent then. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, typically with my customers, I don't know how any other agent does it. I typically go ahead and I contact my customers once a week and let them know, usually on Friday, text, email, whatever, call, whatever they like, but let them know what's going on in the marketplace. I mean, the good news is I'm looking at your particular area. I mean, just your little area. I mean, I'm not even talking about within a mile. I'm not talking all of Dove Mountain. I'm just talking about like your little subdivision area. There was 12 properties that have sold in the last 6 months. Likewise, there's 4 that are pending and 1 that's active contingent. So if you add that all together, that's 17 properties that are either under contract or have sold in the last 6 months. And there are currently 17.
And how long has my property been on the market?
Your property, it looks like, it was on the market for 256 days. Is that no? 269 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
days
in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with my house?
Well, it seems to me, and I'm not 100% sure, obviously, without seeing your property, but it seems to me that perhaps you've got an opportunity to get a better agent. You know, it's like if you go out and you had your car was broke. You take it down to the mechanic, couldn't fix it. You wouldn't say, to heck with it, and put it on some blocks in the front of your house. No, you go find a better mechanic. I'm your better mechanic. I've done this 23 years, sold 500 homes in this town. Probably a good idea for you and me and your wife sometime to talk when it's convenient for everybody. When would be a good time for us to chat and talk about this property?
It's not going to be before. It have to be at least next week.
That's fine.
And even then, we're going to have to, when she's home working, she's working from home.
Okay.
And she has 500 people that report to her. That's not all 500. You know what I mean? That's managers, and I call them her lieutenants.
Certainly
that run this division, that division. So she's on the phone constantly. So we would literally have to schedule time.
Yeah,
we do have one advantage. She's on East Coast time when she's here in Minnesota.
Okay.
She's an hour earlier. You, on the other hand, are 3 hours earlier. So what I'm saying is when she gets done at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's still 2 o'clock in the afternoon for you. So it's not like we're having them call with you at 10 p.m. or anything.
That's correct. And even if
the time frame works in your favor.
And even if you needed to call me at 10 p.m., that's quite all right. I work out of my property as well, and I go into the office for things too. So I'm a man under authority myself. I know exactly what your wife's going through. Well, I'll tell you what. Is this your cell phone?
If we said Jennifer, yes, it is.
Well, why don't I do this?
Jennifer, we want to talk at 2 p.m. our time. You should say no. I can't do it. I just can't take an hour of time or 30 minutes of time during the day.
Right.
During her workday, so we have to honor that. Respect that.
What I was going to suggest is, why don't I go ahead? I'll send you a little presentation, just a little text to you with my contact information and just a little bit about myself, so you'll know a little bit about me. And then what we can do is schedule a time.
Link to your website.
Yes, sir. My schedule's open to her. Whatever's best for her. Let me know what works for you, and we'll make it happen. We can, certainly communicate via text. But yeah, just reach out with her and figure out what would be a good time. Does that sound okay?
Okay. A couple questions.
Sure.
You understand pocket listings, right?
I do.
That's what we always call them in Iowa, pocket listings.
Mm-hmm.
I know this might be coming on the market, so I'm kind of just keeping it to myself. But with that said, would you want to go look at the property before we had a conversation?
I would prefer to, yes. It's not 100% required. It's not 100% required, of course, but I would prefer to look at it. Yeah.
Okay. I wish you would go look at it.
Okay.
And I'll give you the door code to get in the garage.
Okay.
Now, you're a licensed person, right?
Yes, sir.
So, you work with...
Well, yes, sir. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's why you'll get that text from me. Is you'll get my contact information. I work with Sotheby's International Realty, and you can go ahead and Google me there, and you'll find out that I've been in town for quite some time. That's no problem. What would be that code you'd want me to use? Oh my gosh, that's I understand. No worries. No problem. I'll figure it out. That's certainly no problem at all. I'll figure it out. All right. Okay, then. Okay.
What's going on, and because everybody goes to the new part where construction's going on. They always look around down there, but we're over in this quiet little section where nobody drives through it very often.
Right.
So I just either here's the fifth phone call I've had this morning.
Well, I'm running late.
Something wrong if it's 270 days on the market, and mine gets sold.
Well, yeah, it had said that it was. Yes, sir. It said that it was 269 days. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, why have all those others sold? Mine hasn't. I've been priced competitively all the time, and bring me an offer. We'll talk about it.
Well, I mean, just the the basic things. I mean, did you have any kind of cats or dogs, any kind of odors that might be in the property?
We have one. We have a small dog. He does not. He never makes a mess in the house.
Okay.
That's
because many times, if a property is not selling and everything else is okay, sometimes it's like things that are not visual. So it could be things like cat urine. That one's a big one. Like a lot of folks will have cats, and they'll say, "Well, my cat doesn't make a urinate anywhere or whatever," but sometimes they don't always notice it. But yeah, I mean, I'll go over. I'll take a quick look at the property, and I'll see specifically. I mean, and that's actually how I started out my career, was working with people who've been with other agents, and their home didn't sell. So I kind of specialize in finding out why the home didn't sell, and sometimes it's price, but other times it's other factors aside from construction or this or that. I mean, there's many other things that go into it, and I'll take a look at it. I'm happy to take a quick look at it and see what's going on, and then I'll be happy to report back to you and give you what my thoughts are.
Okay.
Fair enough.
We did, to combat any of that smell thing, we did put in some little air pressures, because a house when it's setting locked up and it just gets
stale.
It smells empty. There's a lot of times you walk in that house and it smells like roast beef because it had baked goods. Because my wife has a culinary degree and used to feed a lot of people in that house.
Oh my goodness!
So some days it smells like fried onions too. So.
I'll be happy to take a look at it.
It smells empty to me.
No problem. Well, I'll take a look at it and we'll see what we can come up with. And what I'll do is I'll send you a copy, like I said, that Prezi via text. That way you'll have it. And then we can go ahead and find a time that's convenient for you and I and Ms. Richards to talk. Fair enough?
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful, TJ. You have a wonderful day, okay?
You too.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay. So on that particular circumstance, let's see here. So there are a couple things that I want to draw to your attention, right? Let me go ahead and send this guy this Prezi presentation that I was talking about. Now, if you're not familiar with Prezi, okay, Prezi is a, how would I describe it? It is a presentation system, right, that you can use to create a link or whatever to it. And basically what happens is it creates a small presentation about you or whatever you want to. So for example, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Copy. Okay. So if you look at my phone here, you can see that in my notes section on my phone, I have saved a little note that says, "Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. We just talked on the phone. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Here's a quick link about me so you know I'm legit," right? And then there's a little Google link or a little bit.ly link in there, whatever you choose, to the Prezi presentation, right? Now, what happens is you copy that, you highlight it, you copy it, and then you switch over to your text where the guy's number is, and then you paste it, boom, right? And what happens is you send it to the guy, blam, like so. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that the green indicates that he has a text phone, or I'm sorry, a regular phone. If it was blue, then it would be an iPhone. And then the Google link there would come up as an automatic presentation. And in that presentation, what you'll see is a little bit about me, my name, my phone number, a link to my website, all the different things that they would probably want to know about me. For example, if my resume, how long I've been in the game, how many homes I've sold, things of that nature. Now, you do not want to make this Prezi presentation a long, drawn-out thing or anything to that nature whatsoever. You want to make it very easy for people to go ahead and let me see here. There. Right, and make a final note. And so they can go ahead and click on their phone, click that link, and okay, and then they got their information about you right away, right? Let's see. Number is TJ, the husband. Okay, boom. All right, boom. All right. So now we've got a lead, right? So that is. We've called for 46 minutes, right? We've made 2 contacts so far. We've made 44 calls, and we have 29 leads that we've gone through. So this is a very good, I think, listing possibility because he has plenty of equity. He is motivated to sell the property. They do not want to rent. They're just in a situation where they need a better agent. Now, you probably, you definitely heard me say, you definitely heard me say, for example, if the property is kind of like a car, right? If the car isn't selling, if the car isn't fixed, you don't put it up on blocks. You go get yourself a better mechanic, right? And people can instantaneously understand that metaphor. So you want to always be thinking.
Hi, you've reached Frank Coates of Whole Foods Market. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
That's not who I want.
Have a great day.
That's not who I want at all. All right. That's something that they can instantly, understand. So you'll definitely want to go ahead and make sure that you do the same. Fill your mind with these different types of metaphors, right? That people can instantly grab onto and understand, so that that you can communicate an idea very quickly. Because remember, salesmanship is simply the ability to communicate ideas clearly, so that other people can understand what your idea is and then be willing to act on it. That's the essence of salesmanship. Let's go ahead and jump into, let's see, now we're going to call for rent by owners. We called through all the expireds. There was not too many expireds today. There will be here in the next few days, however, on the 31st or 30th, whatever the end of the month is, there's going to be an awful lot. So we're going to have a lot more to call. But in the meantime, between time, we're going to call some more for rent by owners here next. And let's jump into a little bit of the real estate news.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Let's jump into some of the real estate news of the day. Hackers were siphoning money off real estate transactions in Utah. That's one that I read that you'll definitely want to, understand. If you are in real estate, you have got to become extraordinarily aware of the hacking and the level of fraud that is going on in the marketplace, right? Let's read this story here real quick. This is from Fox 13 Now. This is in Salt Lake City, Fox 13. It says hackers are siphoning money off real estate transactions in Utah. It says in Bernal.
You've reached Ellen. Sorry, miss. Choose a message, and I'll get back to you just as soon as possible. Have a great day.
As in,
at the tone.
Oops.
Please record you.
There we go. Zoom. There we go. says that, let's see here. It's taking a moment to catch up with that. Apparently I got too many ads or something going on at once here. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. There we go. So it's still dialing. Okay, good. So, this thing is just taking forever to load. There we go. In Vernal, Utah, a warning for anyone about to buy or sell real estate in Utah. Hackers are finding success funneling millions of dollars to overseas accounts. Hackers are targeting the booming real estate industry by spoofing emails to intercept loan money. After the sale of an income property, Vernal real estate agent Emily Peterson expected to get $60,000 at a closing, and by chance, she dropped it in on her escrow officer to pick up the check. She said, "I was just going to wire it to the account you gave me. It's your email." We pulled up the email, and sure enough.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl. How are you today?
Very good.
I was calling about that property you had for rent. Is that property still available?
No, it's not available.
Oh, okay, no problem. Do you happen to know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property I could buy for cash?
For what?
For cash? Do you know anybody who has an unwanted home that I could buy?
I don't know. I don't know. You have to look at it in the, in the advertising.
Okay. All right. No problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Okay. So what had happened was this poor woman, this poor real estate agent had gone into her title company to discover, the $60,000 that she was going to receive for a real estate transaction, the home she had sold, I guess, had ended up going to, or was getting ready to go to an overseas account on a hacked email. There's a lot of that going around. You have to be very careful. As a matter of fact, it is happening so much in Utah that they're actually doing a public service announcement across the public airwaves so people know, hey, this is something you need to be aware of. So how do you protect yourself from fraud and from these sorts of things? Well, you want to make sure that you go ahead and ensure whoever you're talking to is the correct person. That's the first key.
Hello?
Hi, Miss Yang.
Hello?
Hi. Hi. I was calling about that property you had for rent on Placida Los Arbustos. Is that still available?
Yes, we're going to have an open house on 29th from 1 to 3.
Great. Okay, no problem. My name is Carl. Have you considered selling that property?
Store?
No.
What's that?
But have you considered selling that property?
Selling? No.
Oh, no problem. Well, I'm curious. Do you know of anybody else who'd be interested in selling their real estate?
I'm a real estate agent.
You're a real estate agent? Oh, great. Okay,
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to take a quick break here. So hang on a minute, and I'll be back in just a few. Thanks, and hang on. All right. Here we are again, prospecting together. Here we are. Thank you so much for joining me again. Sometimes I even have to take a quick break myself, let the dogs out, things of that nature. So we will go ahead, jump back into the prospecting. Let's get back into it. If you just joined us, we had just finished setting an appointment here a few minutes ago with taking a look at a property and then going ahead and getting ready to make a listing presentation for a property. So you'll definitely... Hi, this is Carl. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I was calling about that rental you have listed online. Are you still trying to fill that vacancy?
Yeah. There's a couple. There's unit 10 is still available.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was the one at 405 Granada is the one I was talking about. Is that the same one we're talking about, or are we talking about something different?
Yeah, there's 10 cottages on the property.
Oh, wow.
I just rented one, and then Unit 10 is still available.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had 10. You have 10 actual cottages on Granada, or is this on a different property? Or
Yep. Yeah, at that property. No, at the same property.
oh my gosh. Wow. How big is that? How, if you don't mind me asking, how big is that overall property if you got 10 cottages on it?
It's about an acre.
Oh my goodness. That's cool. Well, my name again is Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker here at Sotheby's International, and I also buy property. I was calling because I work with a lot of buyers and sellers, and investors in the area. I was just wanted to see what your long-term plans were with that property.
We're just fixing it up, so it's a long-term hold.
Oh, okay.
Lots of work.
Well, okay. So was this something you had bought as an investment property, or was it something you ended up with as through circumstance?
No, we bought it. There's four investors.
That's
we're
good place.
Putting a lot of money into it.
Yeah, that's a good place for it. So, okay, good. Well, do you guys have any other rental properties?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is our only one.
Okay. Have you guys thought about buying any others?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, listen, best wishes on that one. Do you know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Stay out of the heat today. And man, that's a really great little spot you got there. And if you got 10 little cottages on that, that's even better. Good for you, brother.
Yep.
All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. All right. See, it's another thing about prospecting every day. You know, when you're prospecting every day, you come to find out a lot of interesting things. You come to meet a lot of interesting people. If that fellow, for example, was looking to sell or buy another rental property, well, then that's something that you know we could certainly help him with. You know, gosh, if you've got the capacity to buy 10 properties down by that area, that's a pretty good area to buy property in. So in the previous web stream, we
please leave your message for.
We had talked a little bit about this concept of being 100% honest with yourself, and if you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with your customers. And one of the things I think that's critical about that point when you're prospecting every day is, you know, a lot of people will say, well, gosh, if you're a listing agent or an investor, you know, what makes you worth your money? I mean, ultimately, many times that question comes down, why are you worth what you're worth? If you're a listing agent or an agent who's out buying or selling property, one of the things that I think you bring value to any equation with is by regularly, consistently prospecting and talking to people in the marketplace. What you discover are buyers and sellers, people who are willing to sell property or buy property, maybe pocket listings, or people who are you know, just, you know, maybe buying other investment properties. I mean, there's really no limit to the information that you can discover if you can become good at actually calling people, strangers, and talking to them. We had mentioned a few streams ago about the importance of understanding that there's two kinds of people in the world. The kind that you know, the people you do know, and then there was the people that you don't know, and that which group was bigger, right? Well, obviously, the group of people you don't know is far bigger than the amount of people you don't know. And with that in mind, many times what you'll discover is that gives you the impetus to go out and talk to people you otherwise wouldn't talk to. Cold calling, for rent by owners or for sale by owners or pre-foreclosures or whoever you call. This many times can be, you know, you're asking yourself, well, why am I doing this? I mean, hello?
Hi, this is Keith. Sorry I missed you, but please leave your name and telephone number, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Many times, we ask ourselves, why are we calling these people or spending the time? I mean, it's because every now and again, you're going to find that one or two persons who are willing to do some business, and that's going to help you in that that's all you need, right? You just need one or two. You don't need all the business in your town. You don't need all of it. You just need one or two of them, one or two good ones, right? You know, how about this one? You only earn money through giving great service. What about that thought? That's another thought that Mike Ferry used to teach me, right? You only earn money.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Hang on a minute. Got the phone going off all kinds of crazy ways. There we go. So Mike Ferry would say, you only earn money through giving great service. And that if you're not earning any money, if you're not making the money you want, then you need to increase your service. He used to say that money is a direct, the amount of money you have is in direct proportion to the service you give. Right? So if you give very little service, then you're not going to get very much money. But if you offer out a lot of service, then you'll get a lot of money. So if you're not getting the kind of money you're wanting, then you need to increase your service. So what kind of service can you increase? What kind of things can you do, right? Excuse me while I take a drink. It's getting to be about 105 here now. And so I have to literally commit to drinking lots of water. Otherwise, I'm going to find myself very, very sick.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl. I was calling about that rental you had listed online. Are you still trying to fill that vacancy?
I've got a couple applications that I'm reviewing. Are you interested in renting?
Well, great. Well, actually, my name is Carl. I was actually, I'm a broker here at Sotheby's. I buy properties. I work with a lot of investors, buyers, sellers. I was just calling to see what your long-term plan was for this place.
Oh, just keep it.
Oh.
I'm not planning on selling it.
Okay, yeah, I don't blame you. It's a nice little spot there. Did you buy that as an investment property, or did you just kind of end up with it through circumstance?
I bought it as an investment.
Good choice. That's a good neighborhood right there. Do you have any other rental properties?
No, at this point I do not.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious, when was the last time you had like a market analysis to kind of see what that property on Hedrick was worth?
It's been a while, but I'm not really interested in it right now.
Well, the only reason why I'm asking is if you've got some other rental properties, if the equity position right, and you could sell that property in a tax deferred basis, buy something that's better as an investment property, would you even consider something like that?
No, I'm not interested at all.
No problem.
Any kind of movement.
Okay. Do you happen to know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time and best of luck. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful day.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Right. Boom. Yeah. So how do you get more service? How do you give more service? Well, okay. What is your definition of service? Right? Service, in my mind, is what you give another person in exchange for money. Right? So you have goods and services. You have goods, which are things like this drinking water, right? Which I buy because it's water. Then you have services, which is, obviously the driver, let's say, who takes the water to the store. It's a service. So if you want to increase your money, you can either increase your goods, which you sell, wholesale deals or whatever, I don't know, whatever you're selling, right? Or you increase your service. In my mind,
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
This means being able for you to add more opportunities, more options, more methods of solving problems, right? I mean, for example, if you only know one way to solve a problem, right? If for example, what is it? If the only tool in your tool belt is a hammer, then every problem becomes a nail, right? Well, if you're as a realtor, let's say,
Hello. Please state your name after the tone and
your only way of knowing how to deal with a property is by listing it. Well, then every time you talk to somebody, you're going to talk about listing it, right? If, on the other hand, all you do as an investor is a wholesale deal, well, then the only thing you can offer is wholesale. If it doesn't fit for a wholesale deal, well, then you move on. If you want to increase your money, you learn how to do both, right? Because not every time is there, as a realtor, are you going to come across a situation where a property
has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Is fit for the market. It might need a lot of work. It might not be ready for financing. It might not, maybe the owner themselves, they don't want to deal with it. You know, there's been plenty of people, if you talk to enough people, you're going to find that there is an element of the population that does not want to list their property, that they are willing to sell their property at a bit of a discount to get it done.
This is Martin Routier.
Hi, Martin. This is Carl.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl. I was calling about that rental you had listed online. Are you still trying to fill that vacancy?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Is it still available?
Yes, it is.
Oh, perfect. Okay. My name is Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker with Sotheby's International. I was calling because I work with a lot of buyers and sellers and investors in the area. I was just wanting to find out what your long-term plans were with the property.
The long-term plans are, so you are asking the long-term plans. The long-term plans are to sell the property when I decided to be available to the market. And so that's not my intention for now.
Okay.
I would like to rent it during 2 or 3 years.
Oh, okay. Great. Okay, no problem. So in 2 or 3 years, you might be selling it then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So please continue. We will continue this conversation by email. You have my email from the ad that I put in the
Yes.
Zillow and Craigslist.
Yes.
And please use that if you need
Okay.
some more information. Okay.
Okay. Sounds great, Martine. You have a nice day. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Carl.
Bye-bye. Very nice lady. Seems as though she had a little bit of a language barrier there. Very nice lady, however. No worries. We're done with the for rent by owners. Now let's go ahead and jump straight over to, let's see what we've got next. Let's just jump into the pre-foreclosure list. Why not? Let's see what happens here. Call some pre-foreclosures. Have a little bit of fun. Yeah. So look, I mean, when we're talking about service, right? If your only ability is as a listing agent, well, then obviously you're going to have problems. If, let's say, your ability, even as a listing agent, let's say you don't know how to do pre-foreclosure sales. Let's say you don't know how to work with people in a pre-foreclosure sort of situation. How do you interact with banks, or maybe do a short sale if that's your thing? I don't know. If you don't know how to do it, well, then that limits your service. If that limits your service, that limits the amount of money you can make, right? I mean, so think about the things that you can do as a real estate agent, or as a wholesaler, or as an investor. What kind of things could you add to your service level that way you could make more money? Is there another skill that you need to learn? Is there things that you can do to become more efficient in the skill that you already have? Right? I mean, if you giving great service is not always just a smile and a great handshake, although that's part of it. It's also being efficient. It's also being truthful and saying the things you're going to say, doing the things you're going to do, right? Oh, I'm not sure what happened there, but let's go ahead and dial in. For whatever reason, I got disconnected on that one, so we'll go ahead and dial back in.
Welcome to Storm.
All right, so now we're calling the pre-foreclosures, right? So let's see what happens here. Boom. Okay, good deal. Yeah, so when you think about efficiency, right? Without efficiency, at best, at best, the best you could hope for is mediocre. If you're not efficient, the absolute best you could possibly hope for in your business is mediocre service. I've seen it everywhere. Okay, I've seen it in all levels, in all facets of realty. Okay, I've seen the very best when it comes to great service. And believe it or not, it's not necessarily the ones who do hundreds of deals. Okay, I don't get impressed anymore by people who say they do hundreds of deals. I don't get impressed by that at all. Because to say you do a couple hundred doors a year or whatever, that doesn't tell everything. That doesn't tell the whole truth, right? There are people out there who do 100, 200, 300 doors a year, whatever, sales a year, whatever it is, and they legitimately have efficiency going on in their business. It's not like they have tons of assistants and tons of buyer's agents or whatever. No. It's just him, her, maybe an assistant, maybe one buyer's agent, maybe one other person. I don't know. Person goes out and looks at properties, and it's just they're running a tight ship, and they're doing 100, 200, 300 deals a year. That's efficiency, because you're giving great service. Okay, if you're able to be efficient and not have a bunch of extraneous parts that break down, people that quit, emotions, and all the other drama that comes involved with a real estate transaction, if you can cut away all of that and focus on the customer and their need, well, then what you discover is your level of service goes up and your customer feels very good about the process. Why is it, and this is not just realtors, this is investors, why is it that you can't create a repeat and referral business?
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Carl Krensel. So why is it that you can't create a repeat and referral business in your business? Why is that? Many times people say, it's the nature of the business. People today are not loyal. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. I mean, there's people, regardless of how long you've been in the business, there are people who will call you simply because of your relationship to them. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying that I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is simply this, that when you're doing the maximum amount of efficiency in your business, okay, your customers' problems get solved before they happen. And if your customers don't have problems in a
Hello.
Hey, this is Carl Krensel. I was looking for David. Is David available?
Yeah, but I'm with a customer. What's going on?
Yeah, no problem. I was looking about that property on Coriander Drive. Is that property going to be available for sale?
No. I'm going to pay it here probably tomorrow.
Oh, fair enough. All right, awesome. You have a great day. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Ordinarily, I would probably press that one a little bit. But the fellow's saying that he's with a customer, and so this is not a really good time. You could press it, but I don't know that you would really get a good answer. Certainly you wouldn't be getting a very positive answer of the guy, right? So it's certainly a good idea when somebody says that whether they're busy or with another customer, either you want to let them go or just get straight to the point and see what happens. In this particular circumstance, if he had said anything other than he was going to pay it off or something like that, I'd say, well, great, when's a good time for me to call you back? And then I would interact with him at a callback. And I would talk to him at that point. But in this particular circumstance, we've got tons of people to call. And quite frankly, it's not, I'm not going to cry if I lose a pre-foreclosure lead. I mean, if this was a super nice, expensive, beautiful property or whatever that I really wanted to get, then that'd be one thing. But this is a lot of work in an area I'm not so crazy about. So, it's not a big deal. But and this again goes back to efficiency, right? I mean, if you're out there chasing every single lead, right? Well, then you're going to be mediocre at what you do. But imagine how good would your service be if you had clear standards about what you wanted to actually see in your business. The kind of customers you wanted, the prices you wanted, the places you wanted to work, the areas you wanted to be in, the types of properties you wanted to work with, the people you wouldn't work with, the people you would. I mean, if you had all that delineated in your head about who's your ideal client, how efficient would your business be? Hi, Alicia.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, hi, Ron. I'm looking for Alicia. Is Alicia available? Hello? Hello? Ron?
Hello?
Oh, Ron, are you still there? Ron, I might be calling the wrong number. I'm looking for Alicia Musical. She owns a property here in Tucson on Utah Street. Am I calling the right number?
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good deal.
Hello, Ron. Who are you looking for?
Yeah,
Ron.
I might have the wrong number. I was looking for Alicia.
No, you don't.
Okay. Well, I was calling about the property that was over there at 195 West Utah Street here in Tucson. Am I calling the right number?
Could be. I mean, I'm related. That's my dad's house.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, no problem. Well, listen, my name is Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker here at Sotheby's International Realty. I buy properties a lot, and I was calling because I noticed that the county records indicated that a bank had foreclosed the foreclosure process. Are you guys looking to sell that property, or are you planning to bring the mortgage current and stay in the property?
I really don't know because that was my father's house that passed away.
Oh gosh.
August, and he willed it to my sister, and my sister is a mess, and we don't know what she's doing with it.
Oh gosh.
Maybe we're able. Me and my other siblings are able to save it and bring it out of foreclosure, but she's a hot mess. So she's
I understand.
So we pretty much are just.
I've been there.
Happens.
I've been there. Okay. Well, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you have a great day. Okay.
Thank you. I will.
Yes, sir. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Boom. Okay. So what stops you from being efficient like that? What stops you from saying, okay, well, look, I only want to work with, I don't know, single family residences and condos between X price and Y price in this area of town or this area of town or this distance from my office or whatever. And what stops you from creating the standards that you need in your business to become efficient? Many times it's your inability or unwillingness to generate leads chronically. Okay. Many times I feel it's your inability or unwillingness.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Your inability or unwillingness to generate leads regularly. your inability or unwillingness to accept the fact that you need to generate leads, right? Those are the problems I think that we're really facing. If we were to just, be 100% honest with ourselves, as we mentioned before, if you can't be 100% honest with yourself, then you can't be honest with your clients, right? And if that's true, and you only earn money through great service, and you accept that, well, how do you give great service? Well, it's because you're alive, excited, and full of energy to work with the people you're working with, because you've set a standard of who you'd be happy to work with. I mean, if you came into work and you worked with only the clients you wanted to work with, the people who are motivated to sell, the people who are happy to see you, the people that would, work with you or pray with you, pray for you, do the things that you wanted them to do, whatever it is you wanted in your business, if you would be able to build that kind of business, wouldn't you be excited? Wouldn't you be ecstatic every day to walk into your office, to talk to people, to, hey, how you doing? Let's see what we can do to help you. But what a far cry that is. What a far cry that is from the life you're currently experiencing. I mean, let's just talk about the life you're currently experiencing. Does your life right now, as a realtor in the real estate game, a wholesaler in the wholesale game, the real estate investment game, a real estate investor, whatever you play, whatever role you play in this game, are you currently happy with the amount of money that you're making? Now, this might hurt a little bit, so you might want to pause the podcast, go get yourself a drink. You might want to, get off this YouTube stream. You don't want to watch this part because this is going to be painful. Are you happy with the amount of money that you're making? Is your spouse happy with the amount of money you're making? Are you happy where you live? Are you happy with your relationships that you have with your children and your family? Are you satisfied with the way your life is going? Is this the life you expected? Why isn't it that way? Why is your life not the way you want it to be? Many times, the reason why your life isn't the way you want it to be is because you, like I, we're human. We make mistakes. We say dumb things. We do dumb things. We don't always do the things we know we're supposed to do. We're all like dumb sheep led to the slaughter. We're all led astray. We don't know what to do. It's not as if nobody ever told us, look, you know what you need to do. You can't say you don't know what you need to do, because you know what you need to do. And if you don't know what you need to do, if this is your very, very, very first time listening to the podcast, the absolute first time you've ever seen me on YouTube, you know what? Hey, thank you. Thank you for tuning in this long. But let me tell you the truth about what you need to know. You need to know that if you want to make more money in this game, you got to do 5 things, well, 6 exceptionally well. 6 things, and that's it. Real estate is very simple, but it's not easy. What do you need to do? Okay, here's the first thing. First, you need to go ahead and generate leads. By lead generation, by any means necessary. Okay, you need to go out, prospect every day, talk to people, door knock, call, whatever you need to do, but you need to spread the gospel of the fact that you are out there in the marketplace buying and selling real estate. Or as a realtor, helping people with their problems. Hopefully, you're also an investor. But you need to spread the gospel about what it is you're currently doing. Second thing you need to do is, after you've spread that gospel, there's going to be certain people who are going to have some kind of interest. You're going to find them in various stages of that interest. like that other guy in the previous stream we just did, you're gonna hear him say, well, I've got some interest, but we can't talk right now because my wife's situation. We can talk later. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is Oscar available?
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, I was looking for Oscar Fuller. Have I got the right place?
Excuse me?
Oh, I apologize. Okay. Well, my name's Carl Krenzel. I was calling about the property that was for sale on 8170 South V Elemental. Am I calling the right number?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. Well, again, my name's Carl. I'm a broker here with Sotheby's International Realty. I buy and sell properties. I was calling because the county records indicated that the bank had started a foreclosure process. Are you looking to sell that property, or are you planning on bringing the mortgage current and staying in the home?
We are selling it, and we already got an offer.
Oh, hallelujah. Good for you. Is this Dinah?
Well, thank you so much. I need to go back to work.
All right. Well,
Thank
you go back to work and you have a wonderful day.
Have a great day.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye. You too.
Congratulations. Bye-bye. All right. Boom shakalaka. I was just a little sold, or I was just a little, let's see here. Sold. There we go. Boom. Resume. So, as you can tell from the previous stream, that fellow, had an interest in talking, just couldn't at the particular time, right? So he's a lead. Prospects are everybody that you're talking to. These people we're calling right now through the Red X and the Storm Dialer through Vortex. These are all prospects. The people who indicate that they have an interest, those are leads. Now, those leads, you're going to need to follow up with them, because not every lead is going to turn out to be an appointment. Because when you think about it, step 2 is all about lead follow-up, right? You've identified the lead. Now, hi. I was looking for Eloy. Is Eloy available? Oh boy. Okay. No, I'll just put no answer for them. Boom. There we go. So anyway, now that you've identified the leads, they're going to be in various stages of readiness. Some people, they're going to be ready to do something in 6 months. Some people are going to be ready to do something in 2 years, like that other lady, right? Some people. Hello.
Hi, you reached AZ Professional Services and Tax and Time Tax.
Some people are wanting to do something in the next 7 days. You want to identify who the people are that are going to make a move in the next 7 to 10 days. Okay? Because the people who are going to make a decision in the next 7 to 10 days, they're going to decide right away. And you need to be part of that. The people who are making decisions 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, heaven knows what could happen. They could buy a car, be no longer qualified. They could, go into foreclosure. They could get a broken leg. I mean, heaven only knows. So that's your second step, is lead follow-up. The third thing you need to do, obviously, is present. Make a presentation. Look, this is why people choose to use me for my services. This is why. X, Y, and Z. All right, whatever those reasons are. Now, if you're trying to be a listing agent, or let's say on the phone, we're trying to make phone calls to these people, and we need to make a presentation as to why they need to let us in the house, right? When you get to the house, you need to make a presentation as to why they ought to listen to you for, whatever advice you're trying to give them. And then obviously, this presentation is the presentation skills that you develop, right, are going to be crucial to your ability to convert the lead into something useful. Because here you are prospecting hundreds of people. You're going to get a certain amount of leads. And out of those leads, only a certain amount is going to actually
But the person you called has a
work into
voicemail
something
box
you can work
that
with.
has not been set up yet.
Right?
Bye.
It's only a certain amount of people that are going to you can work with as leads, and then make presentations to. And out of those presentations, only a certain amount of those presentations are actually going to agree with you. And if you're not that good at presentations, okay, you're going to need an awful lot of presentations to get better. That's something that the guru doesn't tell you. They always tell you mail out 100 of this, and that's going to result in X amount of leads. And out of those leads, you should get X amount of contracts. And out of X amount of contracts, you should get X amount of sales. It does not work like that. I'll tell you why it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that because of the percentage of your personality in the transaction. Is if it was simply a numbers game, if it was simply a numbers issue, then yeah, you're right. That static number would work. But it's not a static number work because
the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up.
And how I know this is because some people are able to get a lot out of a little, and some people can't get anything out of a lot. People who've mailed out thousands and got nothing. And then other people who just mailed out 2 or 3 cards and got something. You got some people who could dial all day and get absolutely. Hello? Daniela?
Hello.
Oh, hi. I was looking for Daniela. Is Daniela available?
There's no Daniel here.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I might have the wrong person. I was looking for 8741 North Hollybrook Avenue. I was calling about that property for sale. Am I calling the right number?
Well, yeah, I used to live there.
Oh gosh. Okay. You used to live there. Okay. No problem.
A long time ago.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I apologize. All right. Well, listen, I'm sorry I got the wrong number. Since I got you here anyway,
No. My parents
Oh.
owned the house for 30 years, and I'm their son.
Oh,
And my
okay.
parents sold the house, and they moved out here to Columbus.
Oh, well, God bless you. That's wonderful. Well, good. Good. You all got the whole family together out there now?
Yeah, the whole family out here in Columbus.
Man.
My brother and I live here. My brother and I live here in Columbus, and my parents live in Grove City.
Well, God bless you. That's wonderful, man. Get out there and have a wonderful 4th of July cookout. Get your whole family out there. Get some corn on the cob, some hot dogs. Enjoy America, okay?
Oh, yeah. No, they will. I will. I'll be working.
Oh, all right. Well, you be safe working then, okay?
Okay.
All right. Have a great day, brother. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. You too. Bye.
Yeah, you know what? Every call can be fun, right? So when you think about it, okay, you got to do the lead follow-up. Now you do your lead follow-up. And out of a certain amount of those lead follow-ups, you got that presentations you're going to have to make. Your presentations are going to get better over time. Okay, so just remember, in the beginning, everybody sounds terrible, okay? Until you develop your style, until you develop your way of working and talking to people and understanding how they react, then you will learn how to generate the responses you want to. So this is why listening to this kind of podcast or watching this kind of YouTube video is helpful for you if you're newer. Because if you don't prospect a lot and you're trying to add services to your business, if you're trying to add, wholesaling, for example, or for sale by owners into your listing inventory, or maybe you've never taken a listing that was expired as an expired listing or canceled before. Maybe you've never called anybody in your whole life as a realtor. Maybe you've been terrified to do that. Well, this gives you the opportunity to see how someone who has a little bit more experience, a little bit more time in the game does it. Maybe you don't like the way I do it. Maybe you think that, you could do it better. That's okay. Great. I mean, I'm certainly open to that. My hope for you is that you will learn from what I'm doing that these people are not going to bite your head off. All right. They're not going to be terrible. They're not going to be mean. So long as you approach them with respect and you're trying to, help them provide a service, then many times they'll respect you. They'll respect the fact that you're trying to give them a service. And if it's for them, great. If it's not for them, fine. So after a presentation, the fourth thing you need to do is handle objections, because nobody is just right off the bat going to say, "What, Carl? Thank God you called. We were hoping a realtor would call. Why don't you come on over and list our home or buy our home or whatever?" I'll tell you, out of the thousands and thousands of people that I have talked,
Please leave your message for
the thousands and thousands and thousands of people I have talked to over the years, all right, the countless times that I've been in a conversation with someone, I can honestly say I've never heard somebody tell me, not once, thank God you called. We were waiting for somebody. It's never happened. The reason why it never happens is because every customer thinks they are right in the beginning. Everyone does. And that's okay. That's human nature. You think you're right on everything. I think I'm right on everything. We all do the same thing. It doesn't matter what it is. You think you're right on whatever. I think I'm right on whatever too, right? But what happens is over time, people tend to share ideas. And depending on the strength of the idea and the logic of it, then maybe, if the person's receptive to it, then they can start to maybe change their opinion a little bit, be persuaded in some fashion. Sometimes a person's no today, is tomorrow's yes, because their situation has changed. Yesterday, they had plenty of time. They could sell it for sale by owner until
the person you have called is currently not available.
Until the cows came home. They could do that. But since then, since yesterday, something has changed in their situation. They got to get back home because their mama is sick. Their mom's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and she just got a deadly diagnosis, and she's got to get back home right away. Now, they don't have time to sell it themselves because it's not important anymore. Do they have time? Yes, they could, but it's not as important, right? And that's the key that you need to take away from prospecting, is that when you're prospecting, the no's that you get, the objections that you get, are not always set in stone. Things are always fluid, right? So some of the objections that you're going to obtain, they're going to be the same ones. Well, we're going to sell it ourselves. We're going to keep the property. We're going to rent it out. We're going to, somebody said they get me more money. There's a bunch of different objections, but primarily they only really boil down to about 10. And then the variations are kind of relations of these.
I'm sorry, this mailbox has not yet been set up by the subscriber.
Are related to the 10, the variations of them. So really all you got to do is just learn the answers. I mean, the objections never change. I've done this 23 years. The same objections I was getting day one are the same objections I hear today. It's just now I know the answers of what to say, and I can feign as though I've never heard. Whoa, what? You want to sell your?
Hello, we are not available now. Please.
You want to sell the home yourself? Oh, interesting. I can act like I've never heard that.
Has been forwarded to an automated voice.
I can act like for. And then the good news about it is that if you, as a professional, learn what to say, then that can help you handle their objections, their questions in advance. Because remember, an objection is nothing more than a question in the mind of a prospect that remains unanswered. That's what Mike Ferry taught me, right? So when you think about it, if you answer their questions in advance in the presentation,
voice messaging system.
If you answer all their questions in the presentation in the beginning, then they really don't have anything for them to ask you a question about, right? I mean, to object to. If you handle objections about commissions and paperwork or costs or closing costs, or what you're going to do as a wholesaler or an investor to help them, if you can talk about those things in advance,
Hi, I'd like to leave a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks. Bye.
Many times you'll just answer their questions that they have right there before they even have a chance to answer them or ask them. And isn't that great? Wouldn't that be great to just walk into a presentation and not have any objections at all? That's possible if you know what to say. And finally, not finally, but the fifth thing you really need to do is close. You would be shocked to see how many people.
This call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
How many people, myself included, have gone into a sales situation and failed to close? I know it sounds hard to believe, but it's true. People go into the sales situation and Say, well, this is what I think about the price, and this is what I think about the terms, and this is what I think what I can do. Give me a call and have a nice day. And then they leave. You know, it's you never want to find yourself in that situation. I can't tell you how many times I've been in that situation where I failed to close because of, I was tired, I was lazy, whatever reason, right? Don't forget to close. And sixth,
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
You want to do it all over again, right? You want to start all over again and treat every day as though you're beginning from zero. Like you don't know anything, like you don't have anything, like you don't have any money, you have no leads, you have no prospects, you have nothing. That's why you need to prospect every single day. And that's why so many people have all these problems. That's why it's connected all together. When you think about everything that you're doing, it's connected. The beginning of what you're doing, the prospecting that you're doing every day, that you see me doing here every day with you, you do this every single day. 90 days, you start to build up momentum over time, okay? You find leads every day, yes, but what happens is those leads turn into listings or sales, or they refer you to somebody who is, and then you take that listing or you make that sale, and in 30 days it closes, and then boom. And that's just the way the process works. It's a 90-day cycle. You're in a 90-day cycle every single day for the next 90 days, right? I mean, the things you do today are going to pay off 90 days from today. This is June 25th as the day of this recording. So that means everything I'm doing today is for what? You see, June, July, August. Yeah, August 25th. Let's see. September 25th. I apologize. That shows you how smart I am. See, if I'm so stupid, I can't even remember the 3 months and it's going to be September. Well, then you know that you can be better than me in this game, right? So think about it. Everything I'm doing today in June is what's paying off for me in September. Now, if that's true, then that means everything I'm doing today, business-wise, is a consequence of what I started 3 months ago in March, January, February, March 25th, right? So any kind of activity that I have listing-wise, buyer-wise, sale-wise, wholesale-wise, any kind of real estate investment I have going on right now is because of the activity that I began 3 months ago. Now, I have a little bit of activity going on right now. I've made a couple sales, got a couple listings. Things are going great. Now, problem is that I want to intensify that. I want to increase that. So now, to increase it, you want to stay consistent. And that's where most people fail, because as a real estate agent, as a wholesaler, as an investor, you think, okay, that you could just do whatever you want to willy-nilly because you got that kind of freedom. But I'm telling you, it's that very freedom that frees you from having the money you want. Okay, because you refuse to be disciplined about your schedule, because you refuse to be disciplined about your prospecting, because you refuse to accept that everything you do at the front end is what's affecting you in the back end, because you won't accept that basic fact. That's why you're broke. That's why you're having problems. Look, I'm not telling you something I haven't been in a situation myself and understood the critic. Hi, I was looking for the Caballeros. Have I got the right place?
The what?
Oh, the Caballero residence. I was looking for the owners of a property at 3057 West Via Cuervo. Am I calling the right number?
No, sorry, you have the wrong number.
Oh my gosh. Do you know anything about that property or the Caballeros at all?
Nope.
Oh
Sorry.
boy. Okay, I got the wrong number. All right. Well, listen. Hey, since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted property I could buy for cash?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, have a great day, okay?
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Boom. So I'm not telling you something I haven't already experienced myself or been through. So when you're in this situation and you're thinking, okay, well, gosh, I need to make some money. Remember this 90-day cycle. All right. So if you want to have money in September, start prospecting now and prospect every day. And what you're going to find is that money is going to start rolling in at that time. That's how long it's going to start to take. It's like pumping that well. Now, Second thing you want to do is understand that to increase that service level, you want to increase your efficiency. To increase your efficiency, you want to start setting standards for what you will or will not do. If you will accept a X amount, I don't know, a 6-month listing, a 3-month listing, or whatever, what is your standard on that? What's your standard as far as pricing? How far over the recommended list price will you go to get a listing? How far over the price will you go, the MAO, right? That maximum allowable offer that you wholesalers always like to talk about. How far over that MAO will you go to get a deal done? I mean, when you think about it, the reason why we do all the things we do and go to the extents that we go to is because we have this perception that there are few deals, there are no deals to be had. You have it in your mind that there's no deals to be had. And so as a consequence, you have to take what you can get. There was a lady calling me about REO business the other day, and I'm grateful for all the times that agents call me about the REO business and how to get into it and investments and how to get into this.
Hello.
Hi, is Nancy available?
You got the wrong number.
Oh no. Okay, I was looking for Nancy Threet. Do you know anything about her?
Nothing.
Oh,
I've had this phone for like the last 20 years.
Oh, I apologize. Okay, I'm calling about a property that was for sale at 841 Northwestern Ridge Trail. Do you know anything about that property?
My parents owned that house before she bought it, but
Oh, okay. All right. Gosh. Okay, no problem.
they're the new buyers of the house.
Okay, no problem. Well, listen, since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
Not at this current time.
Okay, no worries. Well, listen, I appreciate your time and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. Delete, count it, and resume. Okay. So when you think about this, right? If you're trying to get the business that you want, the ideal clients, the right locations, the people who appreciate you. The reason why you don't have it is because you think that you have to be stuck with the business you get. And I'm grateful for the people who call me and the agents who call me about, getting into this business or that. But the truth is, when people are looking for REO business or wholesale or things of that nature, they're many times are forgetting that you have to prospect just as well in that business as well. To get into the REO business, you have to prospect the asset managers. You think many times, well, gosh, I don't like calling expired listings. I don't like calling for sale by owners. I'm going to get into the REO business. Guess what? That comes with its own costs, right? You think sometimes many times you think, well, gosh, I'm going to get into the wholesale business and I'm going to make money doing this or that because I can make easy money by bandit signs or whatever, right? And after you get into it, you'll discover it's not quite that way. Other people, you know what? Hey, I'm going to get into note trading because it's less risk and high opportunity. Okay. You're still going to have to prospect. Look, whatever kind of business you're going to be in, whether it be notes, wholesale, real estate investing, real estate agency, whatever your part in, even if you're trying to fix broken, cracked screens on your iPhone, you're still in a position where you have to prospect daily. Okay, you're going to be in positions with people that you don't want to be in one way or the other. And I've had countless people over my career argue with me, tell me they hate calling, telling me they hate people, talking to people on the phone and all this. And what ends up happening, more often than not, they get out of the business and they need to get a job, and in which case they're doing things that they hate doing anyway. So if you're going to hate doing what you hate doing, well, then find the people that you want to do business with. If you're going to have to hate something, well, then hate finding the people you want to do business with. Maybe that's a good way to put it. Maybe you should start there, right? What if you just said to yourself, okay, look, I am only going to work with single family residences that are in town or within 20 minutes of my office or whatever, in a certain price range, or with a certain, let's say you're a wholesaler and you say, I'm only going to work on deals that have a certain threshold of profit or whatever. That frees you immensely. You think that it constricts your business because you don't have enough business out there. But in reality, it eliminates all the people you know you don't want. And as soon as you find out that they're what you don't want, you can automatically eliminate them. So that saves you the time. So you can go find the business that you do want. And that, my friends, is the problem. The problem with real estate is the fact that everybody wants to go ahead and have it easy. Everybody wants it easy. I mean, people say that the seller is greedy because they bought the property for X. Maybe they didn't put any money into it, trying to sell it for Y. Real estate agents say, well, gosh, that person's greedy. You ask a for sale by owner. For sale by owner is going to say, well, gosh, real estate agents, I got no problem with a buyer's agent, but a listing agent, that's, you don't really do anything. I could do the same thing. It's greedy for you to charge X% for what you do. All a question of perspective when it comes to greed. So when you think about this process, that if you're going to have to go through a process of finding people that you don't find attractive, right? If you're trying to find listings, if you're trying to find wholesale deals, and you know that the process of finding those deals is just kind of unfun, it's just not fun, right? Because it doesn't matter what it is you do. It doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter if it's a mailing you're doing, or if it's a radio commercial, a television ad, telephone prospecting for hours on end. No matter how you attract business, there is some element of it that is unfun. I know that's not a word. Please don't critique me on iTunes on my reviews saying what a horrible person I am for making up unfun, I guess. But the reality is that, let's say you run a television ad. Okay, now you got your face on TV. Now you look sexy. You're a popular person or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's what you get out of it. But the unfun part, well, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that ad, that time on TV. And that's expensive. And that's unfun, especially when you're writing the check. I don't know how many times you've ever written a check for that kind of advertising, but it's not fun, right? How about your mailer? How many times have you sat down and written out all those letters, or handwritten the postcards or whatever, lick the stamps or whatever, got paper cuts on your tongue from licking stamps? I don't know, whatever you did, or licking the envelope. I don't know, whatever you did, but you decided at one point, you know what? This ain't fun. And you decide to pay somebody else to do it. Maybe as you're listening to this podcast, you're out there driving for dollars, spending your gas money and your time driving around, looking at property. Oh, sure, it's fun because you got your Starbucks right there.
Reach the voicemail box.
You got the Starbucks right there in your cup holder. Okay. But is that really the highest and best use of your time? Are you really going to get the kind of deals you say you want? You say you want good deals, you want, profitable deals, etc. But, is that really going to get you that? If you have to go in a driving for dollars, if you want to do 25 transactions in a year, let's say, is driving for dollars going to get you there? No. You and I both know that. So why are you doing it? Well, because it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than what? Going out and actively finding business. It's easier to go send out a mailer. It's easier to run a television ad. It's easier to do drive for dollars. It's easier to pay people to do these things that you know that you need to do. So why do we do it? Because we don't want to suffer the rejection. We don't want to sit on our butt or stand and talk for 3 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week to strangers. We do not want to do that, and we refuse to do it. We will pay any amount of money. We'll pay any amount of coaching. We'll listen to any siren song that anybody says. But God forbid we actually take the steps we take to go ahead and prospect to total strangers and see if maybe we can help them. Is it really any wonder that most people are mediocre?
Please leave your message for 520.
I got to believe that there's an element of people who are listening to this podcast or watching on YouTube. I have to believe in my heart that there is an element of people out there who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Aren't you sick and tired of the same old getting nothing? Aren't you sick and tired of spending money for leads that turn out?
Hello.
Hi, I was looking for Thaddeus. Is Thaddeus available?
May I ask who's calling?
Yes, sir. My name's Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
I'm okay. What are you calling in regards to?
Yeah, no problem. So I was calling about that property that was for sale at 10146 North 9 Iron Drive. Am I the right number?
What makes you think it's for sale?
Well, I'm calling because I'm a realtor broker here at Sotheby's International, buys property, and I'm calling because the county records indicated that the bank started the foreclosure process. I was just looking to see if you were interested in selling or if you were planning on bringing that mortgage current and staying in the home. That's all.
How did you get this number?
Well, I've been doing this for about 23 years, and I have a unique set of skills that allows me to find people. The short answer is the computer.
That sounds like a stalker.
I know that's that line from that movie,
you
Taken.
stalking
Remember
me?
that? No, I
Are you
don't.
stalking me?
Don't flatter
Why you
yourself.
call the police?
Don't flatter yourself, Thaddeus. I don't even know you. I'm just offering you money. Would you like money or no? Yeah, that's what I thought. Have a great day. See, the thing is, folks, there is an element, if you listen to people when they get that kind of way with you, right? If they start getting snotty and snarky with you, right? If you allow that in your spirit, if you allow somebody to get in your spirit and start saying things to you and you just absorb that, you just take that, then you will not want to prospect, because the negative responses from somebody is going to make you feel like, oh, they don't like it. Oh, they hate me. Because the human mind is designed to focus on the bad things, not the good things. So there's some good things that have happened through prospecting in this last day. I mean, we've set an appointment for tomorrow. I've got another guy that's interested. I'm going to go.
Hello?
Oh, you know what? I think I've got the wrong number. I was looking for Mary. I got the wrong place. I apologize.
No, Mary here.
No worries. You have a great day. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. So delete that and don't count that. Boom. Yeah, that was in Green Valley. I had not deleted that number there. I should have deleted that one. I don't like to go out to Green Valley because that is one of my what's the word for it? Borders, boundaries, right? I mean, when you think about it, if you're trying to sell real estate, you got to have some sort of boundaries. You got to have some sort of things that you are willing to do and some things that you're not willing to do. Some areas that you're willing to go, some areas that you're not willing to go, so that you can spend more time in the areas that you are good at. So, for example, Green Valley is a good standard to have for me. Standard was the word I was looking for. So when you think of a standard, in this case, I chose not to go out to Green Valley because the standard is that particular property, as nice as it may be, is going to take 45 minutes to get there to an hour, and then an hour back, plus the time I'm there. And that's 2.5 hours at the minimum. That's just an awful lot of time to spend away when I could be here in town, trying to find new business, working on the deals I currently have, trying to find a buyer for them or a seller for them. I mean, when you think about it, it's all boiling down to your time and what you can do. right? You can't. I'm trying to get this list cleared up here. There we go. What we're going to do right now is we're going to call some for sale by owners. Boom. All right. And let's call. Go. All right. So we have 27 for sale by owners. We're fixing to call here. Let's see. This one's out in Vail. I don't really want that. Again, Vail for me is standards, right? It's not something I really want to do. Okay. Hang up on that one. There we go. Resume. So again, without being efficient, okay, you're not going to be able to be anything better than mediocre. So if you want to really provide great service, you have to go ahead and establish clear boundaries, clear standards for your business, what you will and will not do. That way you'll be able to be efficient with your time. If you're efficient with your time, then your level of service will go up. And as your service goes up, your money goes up.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Good.
I was calling about that house for sale. Is this the owner?
This is. Are you a realtor? Or
Oh,
you a
yeah.
person?
I'm actually a broker who buys property. I was calling to see if it was still available. Is it?
It's still available.
Okay, great. Well, I'm calling because I work with a lot of buyers and sellers in the area. I'm just wanted to see how I could help you. What can I do to help you with this place?
What's that? You broke up on me.
No problem. I said, what could I do to help you with this place?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm looking to sell a house. Want to buy the house? You have
Well,
permission to buy the house?
all right. So let me ask you a question about how much you asking for the property.
$299.4.
Okay, that sounds like a great price.
Yeah, and all my friends are in the real estate industry and mortgage broker industry.
Uh-huh.
And I'm ready.
And it says in your Zillow ad that you'd work with realtors. So if it sounds like if I brought somebody by, then you'd be willing to pay some form of commission. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. No problem. All right. When would be a good time for me to come out and take a quick look at the place?
I'm going to probably be showing it on Friday sometime. So if you touch base with me, Friday morning after 9:30,
Mm-hmm.
probably Friday afternoon would probably be good, right after lunchish.
Okay. That looks like the 28th, I guess. You said sometime afternoon?
Yeah. Give me
Okay.
a call and I'll mail you down the exact time if you're still interested.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I'll give you a call. This number right here, is this the best number to reach at? Is this
Yep.
okay?
This number. That's perfect.
Okay, good deal. All right, perfect. And quickly, when you do sell this place, where are you going to go next? Are you staying here in town, or are you taking off?
This is an extra house. This is my rental house. It's been for the last 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So I have another house in the foothills. This is just an extra house for me.
Are you doing a 1031 exchange on this one?
No.
Oh, okay. You're just going to cash out?
Correct.
Okay. All right. No worries. If you don't mind me asking, this is certainly none of my business, but may I ask why are you just trying to get out of the rental business altogether, or?
No. My mom and I have owned the house. I built it. I'm the original owner. I have a place up in Cimarron Hills Estates, and we're just looking times right to sell it now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The only reason why I asked, I know that a lot of people, myself included, when I have a rental property or something, many times I'll just do a 1031 exchange and buy something up, or maybe a duplex or something like that. So that's only.
We don't. We're not into the speculative real estate now. We're just looking to cash out, dump it. We've done it.
I understand.
An extra house. And that's so.
No, it makes perfect sense. I understand completely. Okay, no problem. All right, and then let's see. Friday morning it is. I'll give you a jingle. We'll figure something out. Okay, and is this Mr. Pappas? Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, sir. Then I'll give you a jingle then. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a great day.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So what we're gonna do. I'm not always a big fan. Sometimes, hang on just a second here. So 5204. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to just send him a text with that Prezi, like we talked about before, the Prezi presentations. And in this particular circumstance, you can see that when I pressed send, right, what happens is his phone number comes up and it comes up in blue instead of green. And it shows, if you want to look, you can see the Prezi presentation right there. So he can see that right there. It'll say, hey, we just talked. Glad to let you know we just met, etc. That way they have a little bit of something, about me in their phone. And the reason why I want to do that is so that it helps them to go ahead and separate me from somebody else. Also, it'll go ahead and give them the opportunity to look me up, which is something you definitely want to do. You definitely want to go ahead and have something in Google or web page or something like that, some kind of online presence, so that people, when they see you, call for appointment on Friday. Okay, cool. When they get that from you, then they will go ahead. They'll call. They'll go ahead and look it up, hopefully on MLS or on Google or whatever, and learn a little bit about you, right? I mean, that's really what you're trying to do. You're just trying to separate yourself from somebody else so that they can go ahead and do a little bit of research and hopefully see.
Hello?
Hi, I was calling about that house for sale. Is it still available?
No, it's been sold.
Oh, hallelujah. Congratulations. Okay, good. Hey, by the way, do you know of anybody else who's got an unwanted home I could buy for cash since I got you here anyway?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. Well, congratulations on your sale, okay? Have a great day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay, boom. Move on. Remember, efficiency. You have to be efficient in everything. Think about what you're doing. So, for example, efficiency on the phone. Try not to talk a lot, right? I mean, I talk far too much. Okay, I just blah, 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 blah. I blabber on at the mouth. So you want to try and talk as little as possible and get off the phone as quickly as possible, as responsibly as you can. And that way you don't spend a lot of time wasting their time or your time. Also, that'll enable you to make more calls. You want to work with a script, right? If you're always saying the same thing repeatedly, then you know that this is a good opportunity for you to work with a script that is going to say the same thing over and over and over, so that you can have a predictable response, a predictable result. When you think about your mailing is the same thing over and over and over. So why wouldn't your speech be the same thing? Why wouldn't your presentation be the same? Say the same thing over and over and over again, so that you get the same types of response, and you can tell how the customer is going to respond. Think about it from a comedic standpoint, right? I mean, think about your favorite stand-up comedian, okay? Whoever that might be. Cat Williams, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor. I mean, those are some of my favorites, right?
Please leave your message for.
I'm not sure how I got that number.
Honey.
Don't want that. Don't want that. All right. There we go. Yeah. So when you think about it, they say the same things over and over and over again.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. Hi, my name's Carl. I was calling about that home for sale. Is it still available?
Well, it's not actually a home. It's a lot. I don't know why they have listed as a home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Well, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Take
You
care.
too.
Bye-bye.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Standards. Right? Back to standards. I'm not really crazy about doing a $20,000 piece of land here in Tucson. That's going to take far too much time. I could buy it, maybe try and sell it on Amazon, but
Beatriz?
Hi, Beatriz. This is Carl again. How are you today?
I'm good. Who is it?
This is Carl Krenzel. We spoke some time ago about your house on Neil Brower Way, because you had some tenants that were in there that were all that. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was just following up with you about the property. Is the house still got the tenants in there moving out on the 1st? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Great. And when have you still got it available for sale, or is it sort of on pause still?
Well, it's about until they move out, so I can give them the chance to
Sure. No problem.
move, and I don't want to show it right now.
I understand. So would you like me to give you a call back just before the 1st, you say?
Yeah, I mean, are you interested in, do you have a buyer? Would you
Well,
like to
I don't
look
know.
at it,
I haven't seen the house yet, so it'd be hard for me to say. But yeah, I would definitely like to see it. I'll just give you a call back right before the 1st, and we'll figure something out. Okay.
Okay, sounds great, Paul.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. All right. Tenant moving out 1st of July. Boom. Okay. We'll call her and apply. Okay. So this is another thing. When you're calling people like this a lot, you're going to remember people. You're going to remember situations.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice message.
Because that lady right there, I've called her. I don't have the number exactly, but I want to say I've called her at least 6-7 times, at least. I've talked to her probably 3 times. So you always want to, when you're doing it daily, okay, you're going to come across people and situations. There was a situation, somebody just recently sold their property, like the day before or 2 days ago or something like that. So whenever you hear situations like that, you have to understand you are just one step away from success, one day away. That's why you call every day, because you never know what day is going to be that they're going to be able to, to do, what they just say, today's the day, we're done. We're going to sell it to the next person.
Please leave your message for
We're gonna sell to the next person who makes us an offer. We're gonna whatever. I mean, I've seen all kinds of crazy things. For example, right? I remember this one transaction. This is God's honest truth. You wouldn't believe it if I wouldn't even believe it if I hadn't seen it, right? But essentially what had happened was there was a property that was on the market. Oops, there we go. It was on the market. It was on the multiple listing service. And I guess they were just sick to death of people coming in and out of the property and, trekking mud through it and all of that, right? And I guess they had told their agent, look, you know what? The very next person who makes an offer on the property, if it's halfway decent, we're going to take it. We're just sick of this process of having people in and out of the house. It's too much. And lo and behold, a wholesaler working with another agent had come through the property and liked it, made an offer, was very, very low. I mean, it was extremely low. And the seller took it. That was unbelievable. And the reason why I know this story is true is because the wholesaler called me and said, hey, I got this property under MLS under contract. Would you be interested in buying it? Yeah. As a matter of fact, we would be. And so lo and behold, we ended up buying that property and rehabbing it and getting it on the market and sold. And the reality is that there are situations in the multiple listing service, in the business, in daily prospecting, the people you talk to, there are. Oh, I got the wrong number. I apologize. Sorry.
Okay.
Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, so on that one, that was some raw land out in Green Valley, and I didn't want to deal with that one. All right, so we've called all the for sale by owners. We've called all the for rent by owners. We've called all the expired and canceled listings. We've called all the pre-foreclosures. Whew, we made a lot of calls today. Let's take a quick look and see what our session's like so far today. We made 171 contacts, 6 appointments, and 1 listing so far. That gives us a 3.51% conversion ratio when we're talking about contacts to appointments, and a 16% conversion ratio when we're talking about appointments to listings taken. That's not exactly an accurate number, simply because many of those appointments that we call listing appointments on the computer here are not actual listing appointments that I went on. Many of them I had canceled. So those numbers are probably off. But as far as the daily average, let's take a look here. What do you got today? Let's take a look at what's going on today. Today we've had 168 leads that we contacted, right? 30 of them were expireds. 19 of them were for rent by owners. I'm sorry, 33 were for rent by owners. 19 were pre-foreclosures. 86 were pre-foreclosures. 19 were, let's see, for sale by owners. Yeah, there we go. So we got 30 expireds and cancels, 19 for sale by owners, 33 for rent by owners, 86 pre-foreclosures, for a total of 168 leads that were called today. We made 236 calls, made 19 contacts, set 2 callbacks, left 2 voicemails, didn't set any appointments, but we did set a quasi appointment, if you will, to go look at a property for a listing appointment later this week. So we're going to have a listing appointment a little bit later, but it is something that's coming up. So that is, for right now, the conclusion of the prospecting that we're going to do for right now. We will go ahead and pick up some more prospecting later on this afternoon. I would encourage you to go ahead and join me there. Also, I would encourage you to go ahead and join me at the Red Pill Investor podcast, where you'll hear this turned into an actual podcast where you can hopefully listen to it between your appointments and learn something that will help you. Until the next time, thank you so much for your attention. And as always, I hope you have a powerful sales day.